All the gadgets.
All the gadgets.
At least I'm not right after lunch, so maybe people aren't asleep. No, thanks for having me. I see a few familiar faces around here, people I met last night, some customers. For those who don't know me, Chris Kirchner, founder and CEO of Slink. We're a San Francisco-based software company focusing on visibility and automation. Awesome. Yeah, so a little bit about our team first, because I know outside of the familiar faces, you might not have heard of us before. So what I did in building our team is really merge two key worlds that I think don't talk enough. And that's the software world with the supply chain operator. So we have former consultants, former operators from companies like DHL, among others, Deloitte, mixed with this software team from Salesforce predominantly, as well as Oracle and some of the other well-known software companies. And what we've been able to do is create something from the perspective of an operator, a true solution to problems faced every day in probably some of the roles or within your colleagues of your companies. The key focus of that is a lot of problems within the supply chain start because the systems don't talk to each other. What I mean by that is you have all these siloed data systems, your TMS systems, your WMS systems, all the three-letter acronyms you can think of that stand for software. They don't communicate to each other. So what happens? To solve a problem, you sit down, you manually pull the data out, put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and email it to all your counterparts at other companies or people within inside your business. That's not efficient, it's not repeatable, and in today's world, it's just not necessary. What that leads to then are disconnected people. When you have disconnected people in a supply chain that's supposed to be connected, you have a foundational problem. Now, the common answer to this problem is visibility, right? Let's see it all. Visibility is not the answer. Visibility is the first step toward the answer. Once you have visibility, it then becomes how do we resolve these issues faster? How do we become more efficient, more cost-effective, and how do we make this repeatable so that as our business grows, we can do this over and over and over again and get better every single day? That's what Slink really enables. From a technical standpoint, the solution or the software platform looks kind of like the Force.com platform from Salesforce, just for a point of reference in terms of architecture. And we can talk more about that one-on-one if you'd like. I won't get too nerdy here. But the key piece of it is data intelligence. That's our kind of buzzword for the ability to connect the disconnected systems. And not only to bring data in, but to send data back. We become the translation layer to where we can move this data around and then do things with it to automate these processes and create efficiencies in your supply chain or within your business that don't exist today. One product that is built on our platform that's being used actually by shippers and freight forwarders as well is what we call logistics orchestration. It sounds really nice and fancy. What that really is the connection of internal systems, so like a WMS or a TMS, external systems, so like flight data or something that we can extract weather data even, and emails. Bringing those pesky Excel spreadsheets and putting them into a system so that you can share it very, very simply and it doesn't get lost in your inbox. That provides the visibility. From the visibility, we can then run workflows to start automating things and start solving big, big challenges within our customers' business. Our key value proposition to our customers is within 6 months, you will see a financial difference in your business. And that's because we directly impact the process so we can point at the dollars and cents that we're saving. Here are some of the things we've been asked by customers to connect. And again, this is a lot, so I realize that, and I'll share it with you one-on-one if you'd like to read this in more detail. But connecting IoT, connecting partner systems for freight data, connecting map information so that you can point and see where a shipment is somewhere in the world. You name it, we've heard it. Some of it we've done, some of it is coming, but it's fun. This is what the map looks like, a little bit of a screenshot of the product. We think the supply chain is hard enough. The supply chain operator is a firefighter on a daily basis. We don't want it to be hard to use our product. We want to make it easy. We want the information very clearly accessible right in front of you. We want it to look kind of pretty. Who said supply chain software had to be ugly? I don't know if that was something that was established in like 1995, but it's not necessary today. So we've made it simple. The key piece of Slink and the thing that our customers love the most is our activity feed. Anyone use Facebook? Any Facebook users in here? Okay, you guys are all liars. Facebook is great because of the activity feed. You can see what's going on very quickly, very easily. We've taken that and applied it into the supply chain. So you can see very quickly communication from colleagues. You can see information coming in from a 3PL or from a shipper partner. You can see workflows that are being run to automate processes. So everyone's working off the same sheet of music. It creates that repeatability, that scalability, and that ease of use that I'm sure you or your colleagues or other employees at your company are looking for on a daily basis. So Slink connects the disconnected, makes it easy to use, and creates efficiency that saves dollars and cents in your business. If you want to improve your digital supply chain, come talk to us and let Slink help.
Okay, round of applause. Thank you, Chris. We have time for questions, maybe two. Questions from the audience for Slink?
Nice, no questions.
No questions? Okay, well, you know where to find them. Appreciate it, Chris, and thanks again. Okay, next up, we've got Dan and Mike from Doddle.
I believe your first double act. So Doddle is a last-mile technology business that provides solutions to retailers and carriers around online delivery and returns. And we, at Doddle, 5 years old, fervently believe that online delivery and returns is the defining characteristic around success in e-commerce. So businesses that get delivery and returns right will be the ones that live and thrive, and those that get it wrong will be the ones that struggle and effectively eventually die. And this 4 minutes, I'm hoping to tell you a little bit about why. And I'll start with a story about a holiday I recently took with my wife and 2 kids to Greece. We had a lovely holiday, a nice place in Greece, very sunny, great swimming pool, and it was a really, really successful holiday. And then we tried to get home. And we had a 4-hour delay in a Greek airport with no air conditioning. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, and they cried the entire time. I cried a little bit too. And when we got home and then I went to work on the Monday, people asked me how was our holiday, and I sort of said, yeah, I had a great holiday, but God, the worst journey home, and kind of really tired, I feel terrible. And the reflection there and the customer behavior is that a lot of our experiences in life are tainted or tailored by the ending, by that final touch point. Perhaps more scientifically, there's a guy called Daniel Kahneman who wrote this book called Thinking Fast and Slow. And he's a Nobel Prize-winning behavioral psychologist. And in that book, he introduces a concept called the peak end rule. And the peak end rule says, no matter how many physical or digital touch points you have in a customer journey, the only 2 that really matter from a customer experience perspective are the peak, when your emotions are at their most intense, and the end, the last touch point of a customer journey. And why? Because those are the only 2 touch points that we remember. When we go back on those experiences in years gone by, in the future, you only remember the peak and the end. And the retailers that remember this and think about the last touch point they have with a consumer as absolutely essential in their e-commerce proposition will be the ones that win and thrive. That final touch point drives referrals, drives loyalty, drives increased purchasing, which brings us on to Doddle and our e-commerce proposition.
So, we think the people in this room are the white knights of e-commerce. We are responsible for what is arguably the most important part of the customer experience, which is delivery and returns. So at Doddle, we think, in fact, we know that there is no single solution to that. Customers expect multiple solutions, which is why Doddle is a singular platform with multiple solutions for carriers and retailers. So this is some of the retailers and carriers that we're working with today. And we work with these brands across multiple solutions, from buy online, pick up in store, from building large-scale pickup and drop-off networks, or automating things like returns and pickup of goods, and much, much more. So here are a few examples of what we're doing today, starting with Amazon. So Doddle was actually first to market with a label-less and package-less solution with Amazon. That was actually, just within a few weeks of launching, the fastest adopted return solution that Amazon have ever launched. We've developed a returns chatbot for retailers to help customers engage with their brand and use tools that they are more familiar with to improve customer experience. We've automated returns for brands like H&M, for Nike, and on the screen here, Marks & Spencer's, one of the largest retailers in the UK, with our first-to-market self-service returns kiosks. It helps improve customer experience and reduce costs for everybody in the supply chain. And we work with large national carriers, for example, Australia Post here, where we have powered and essentially licensed our technology to Australia Post to power their national scale pickup and drop-off network. These are just a few examples of what we're doing today. Everything that we do is focused around improving delivery and returns for carriers and retailers. And to Mike's point, because we believe that that is the fundamental difference between success and failure for both carriers and retailers. If you'd like to learn more about how we're working with our partners and how we could work with you, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions for Dan and Mike?